Okay, so it turned on. I think, Libra, you were going to be my last zodiac read for today. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, Scorpio through Pisces, 5 more to do after that. So let's see where this is going. A big theme so far has been perspective shift. And I think that can always be a good message for any of us. So for Libra, and again, I'm feeling called to take a grounding breath, so I'm going to do that. Feel free to do that with me. Oh yes, and I am Rebecca, Empathic Crow, which is why I said, Libra, you're going to be my last reading for today. Let's take, because I've already channeled a Divine Master message and done Aries through Virgo. So I'm realizing that is a lot, but I still got the energy for your reading. We're just going to take a deep breath to ground ourselves before we start. Ooh, I'm seeing a lot of violet and green for you. Little tinge of red. Violet, green, and a little bit of blue. So violet, crown chakra, green, heart chakra, red, root chakra, and then the blue, throat chakra. So if those may be important, they may not. We will see. This card has come out in several readings, so I thought about putting it back in the deck, but I think this is part of the message, even though it just dropped out, the 9 of Pentacles. So I'm hearing, do you believe? Do you believe that this is where you can go? Do you believe, Libra, this is what you have? That's what I'm hearing. Like, you have this. It doesn't always feel like it, but you already have this. So anything that you're building with those new beginnings is just bringing more of what you want in. You already have it. It's already yours. Again, lotus flowers, it doesn't always feel like that, but I heard everything you touch turns to gold. Now, again, it may not always feel like that, but notice we've got these lotus flowers, and then we've got the pentacles building up to the sun, the butterfly, the new beginning. The wolf here is using intuition. Even the crows are using their intuition. It's just making sure that you're focused on discerning and intuition and not getting like your anxieties confused with your intuition. So again, like I said, perspective shift seems to be the overarching theme for the zodiac reads for, I didn't even tell you, for April 2026. Like I said, you're probably going to be the last one I do today because it sounds like I may need a break. And if I end up needing to stop this, I will re-record your video, but it feels like I'm being guided to keep going. So yeah, perspective shift, trusting yourself, using your discernment. Those are always important messages. What else for Libra? 2 of Cups. And it came out reversed, even though I don't reverse my decks. So what are we seeing here? Immediately, the first thing I see is this, which looks like an eye looking off to the side. So what is that bringing to me? And then this looks like an eye looking toward the front. This looks like an eye that's looking forward, and this looks like an eye that it's looking off to the side. So it's like in this, even though the cups may bring what looks like a balance, and there's an eye up here. There's a lot of eyes in this card, a lot of eyes on whatever this relationship is, or you may feel like everybody's looking in on it. And even though the cups, it feels like a balance, shared emotions, and the crows have their beaks together, but their mouths are open. And there's another eye right there. All eyes on you. Why are all eyes on you? Well, because you're creating, or you already have created, this life of abundance that you want. It feels like either you feel like people are watching for it to crumble, or you feel like it is starting to crumble. This, I don't think I've thought or said this before, but that looks like a coffee bean to me. Stay awake. Stay awake. What's going on with these eyes? Like this, your relationships or relationship have not always been easy. We've got the Lotus here, so it's kind of grown up and you've had to manage and balance those emotions. But I'm just, with the heart, I'm just seeing and hearing raw. It's feeling raw. Like something's happened, even if it's not devastating and dramatic, even if there's a foundation, it feels like something's happened. And I'm seeing the snakes, and it feels like some kind of health thing has made these emotions increase again. 555, 555, change. Is there a health issue with the heart? Now, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I don't usually try to focus on any medical type stuff, but something just feels off. Something feels off. Why does something feel off? What feels off? Feels like there's a lot of eyes on you, but what are those eyes focused on you for? We've got the Justice coming out. I've never really paid attention to the 4 squares that are up here. We'll see what that means. Yeah, I talked about the balance here and that it hasn't always felt balanced. And then with the Justice, the scale is like something's not balanced. And it's not necessarily in the relationship here, which could be you and your higher self, like an aspect of yourself, or it could be another relationship. And of course, in this Justice card, there's a blindfold on the crow, a red. So it's like I feel like it's a loss of stability, or at least a feeling of like the stability could be there, but it's like feeling like you've lost your stability. Something that you trusted, you feel like you've lost it and it's not balanced anymore. And that even looks a little bit like an eye. Like it's just like people, I hear people are watching for me to fail. People are watching for me to fail. And Libra, the scales, this is you showing up as yourself in a way. I got a lot of pressure in my ears and my head. Like it's just feels like a lot of weight, and it's not balanced. It feels like I'm taking on a lot of weight. Like these scales are not even. And I feel like these are people that should have been helping the onlookers, but they didn't. It's not even. Like they didn't help take things on. And right now it feels like, whether it's a medical thing or just emotional, that it's putting a lot of pressure in your head, in your heart. There's just a lot of pressure overall. Tell me more about this. But with that crown over top of this crow, like you still have control. You're still shining. Maybe you don't understand how you're still shining. Maybe other people don't understand how you're still shining, but you're still shining. The Justice and the 2 of Cups, it's not as bright as the 9 of Pentacles, but you're still shining and glowing. All right, so we're coming to a standstill in the Crow Tarot. Where are we going next? Let's go to the Chakra Wisdom Oracle and see what we get. What's going on for Libra? Enlightenment. And this is solar plexus chakra. With this child, and I just feel like in the eyes, I feel like you feel like you're being exposed. But there's something that you're not seeing. Like I said, this is already yours, but you may not feel it. There's something that you're not seeing because this has felt so unbalanced and so heavy. It's like I'm hearing miracle. It's like there's a miracle, there's a opportunity, there's something that you're needing to reconnect with whatever higher self, source, divine, whatever, in order for you to move through this. Because right now you're just seeing the obstacles, and this is saying that there's light, but the enlightenment, you've got to focus on it. Because if you're focused on all this outside stuff, you're not seeing, there's something you're not seeing. What are you not seeing? What's going on here? Your self-worth, sacral chakra. Again, it's like, here's this illuminated object. Here's this illumination, 11:22 on the clock. And it's like, you don't see this. And what you have, like that light, I keep talking about light. You don't see this and the light that you have and everything, because things have not always been easy. They're not always going to be easy. And you're still focused on the imbalance, that it's not balanced, and the justice. But this is saying that you've got to go within. You've got to connect and figure out where your self-confidence comes from, or your self-worth comes from within yourself, not without. It doesn't matter all these eyes and who's looking and what they think. That is their stuff to deal with. But for you, you've already had the experiences that required growth. And so it's about you connecting, reconnecting with yourself, returning to yourself. I feel like I want to go to the Light Seers Tarot. Let me take a sip of water, because I don't know if it's possible somebody's lit a fire. Sometimes that gets me going when I'm in my room. It doesn't look super windy, so it's not that, but something's got my allergies going here. All right. A little more clarification on what's going on for Libra with this need to go inward and the self-confidence. What's going on for Libra? Seven of Swords. Again, with this card, when I see this card from Light Seers Tarot, I see where this crow right here is calling out. And this person looks like they're crouched down and they're trying to navigate getting through, like they're trying to be stealthy, but the moon is shining on them. As I say that, one of my crow friends is going past the window. The moon is shining on them and illuminating them. They can't really hide. And I feel like there's another one. You can't really hide. There may be people who are looking. They may even be talking. You may even feel like you've taken some bumps and bruises, like I'm seeing the feathers flying here. But at the same time, in the light or not, you choose the path. So we're still back to that perception. And you get to choose the perception. Is this moon, is this moon illuminating your path? Or is it bringing to light things that are hidden in the dark, even if that's a part of yourself? There may be parts of yourself that you don't feel as confident about, and that's okay, but it's being able to recognize that regardless of that, you may not feel confident within yourself, but it doesn't mean that there aren't things for you to feel confident about. That's part of the balance. There are going to be things that we feel very self-conscious about, or we're not sure if we can do, how we're going to get through it. But with that lotus flower, you've made your way. What else for Virgo? Yeah, the past is kind of making it to where some things from the past looked good, and maybe you're looking back and thinking, man, I wish times were like that. And then some things you're kind of glad to have gotten through. But again, it's that perspective. What perspective are you coming at things from? Because that definitely colors how you see yourself. Anything else? I just keep hearing it doesn't have to be either or. It's not just one way or the other. 1522 when I looked up. We'll go to the Moonology messages. Oracle, Yasmin Beland. So what else for Libra? Help with some guidance on how Libra can get out of this energy of kind of the back and forth. Like, I feel like clarity, which that enlightenment, that's where the clarity is going to come from. It's coming from you, your higher self, your inner self, and whatever intuitive aspects of yourself and the divine, whatever it is for you. So we've got moonset releasing. So like that full moon releasing what no longer serves. With this pyramid right here, or even the outline of it, it's reminding me of like the copper pyramids. So building your energy up by releasing the things that do not serve you. I feel like it's important to recognize that you're not out here alone, but with that enlightenment, you may have to focus inward and on yourself, like I said, and notice the orange sacral chakra and the orange of that desert sand. And then the yellow of this. It's like building your confidence, letting go of those anxieties, coming into your passions and allowing yourself to fully embrace is the word I'm hearing, this, by letting go of all the things that are keeping you stuck. That's where we're at for sure. All right, anything else from the Moonology messages? No. So let's see. Libra, I'm feeling called to both the Spirit Junkie and the Priestess of Light deck. Spirit Junkie first. So this has like little affirmations and things. It's itchy. What does Libra need to focus on? I celebrate all the greatness in my life. It's exactly everything I've been talking about, that perspective shift, releasing the things that don't serve you, focusing on the good that you have brought in, because there is good. There is good within you. The greatness in your life that we started out with. And I said, it's already yours. That's what I'm hearing. You just got to see it. Sometimes our thoughts get muddied by all the crap, all the things that have built over our lifetime, all the stuff that is happening right now. And we miss out on the things that are actually, going well. If that was one card, I would have taken it, even though I know that they come out multiple. But if it's meant to come out, it will. And what is our final message from the Priestess of Light? Idyllic times 48, which breaks down to a 3 because it would be 12, and then 1 and 2 is 3. The garden, paradise. Notice that there's a butterfly right there in her hand. And in the first card, we've got almost the same butterfly. So I feel like with this, it's talking about that, there are times in the past that you focused on as maybe those were the times when things were really good, when things were the way that you wanted them to be. And there are also times, like a nostalgia is coming into my head with that 6 of Cups. Did you have 6 of Cups? I think you did. Yeah. That nostalgia. Sometimes we see things differently when we're on the other side of it than what it actually was. And so I feel like with this owl, it's calling you to really see things the way they are. Not just the way that it feels, not just the way that you perceive it, but really, really see things as they are. And that is going to take going inward so that you can re-enlighten yourself to what's actually there versus what's not. Some things aren't great. Some things are going to be better than you thought. But it's celebrating all the greatness in your life and understanding that it may not look exactly the way that you wanted it to, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. And it doesn't mean that you don't have the things you need just because it's not what you felt like it should be. All right, Libra, I hope that message came through and made sense. I feel like it did overall, but there were definitely times where I was like, where are we going? If you enjoyed this, please definitely like. You can always comment. I really appreciate seeing those comments. Share, subscribe, whatever it is. It helps the messages to get to where they need to go. It also helps to grow the channel and to create a community, which I love. If you'd like a personal read to explore your situation, because general reads can go all over the place. It is a collective reading and there's energy coming in from everywhere. It's just the overarching themes. So a personal read is always going to be more specific to you. And when I do my readings, they're intuitive. So it's not just the cards, it's also whatever spirit is bringing in or spirits. So if you have any questions, let me know. And my booking links are in my bio. But until next time, take care and thank you for watching.